Hello, replay viewers. Thank you for tuning in. I am Marisha from Road to Speech. I am a school-based speech language pathologist, and I love all things organization. So a little bit of background. Hi Keisha, glad to see you again. So I started writing and scoping about organization. Here, let me turn this around actually. Okay, so welcome. Thank you guys for coming in. So I talked about this a little bit earlier today, but I've been writing and scoping about organization the past couple months now, because I feel like it makes such a big difference. And I know it might seem like, hi everyone. So it might seem like, oh my goodness, this girl is crazy. She's just all about putting everything in its box and maybe a little OCD, who knows. But I feel like it has made such a big difference. Because to be honest, I've always loved organization. You don't even want to know what I used to do over the summers when I was a little kid. I think I drove my parents crazy. But organization has been so helpful for me as a school SLP because we have so many things that we're juggling and so much that we need to take care of. If we're not on top of it, it's really hard to drop some of those balls. And it's all about working smarter and not harder. So I feel like when we get those things figured out, we have a lot more time to spend more time with the kids, or even just to go home at the end of the day and be done and not have that monkey on our back like, oh, you should be writing this report or you should be doing this whatever for your kids. Because if you can get it all done during the school day, and granted, I don't always get stuff done on the school day or in the school day. Sometimes I bring stuff home, but I do it a lot less now that I've been more organized, and I have more time to take care of me, and I think that's important too. Because I've been a lot healthier and all of that lately, since I've had more time to do those things, and I feel like I'm a better therapist for it, because it's kind of like putting on your own life mask before you put on someone else's. Like, we have to take care of ourselves to be the best teacher or as therapist that we can be. So I'm sharing a lot of different tips, and some of it might seem kind of silly, but these are the things that have saved me time. And I hope that you can take away at least one thing that'll help save you some time. And because I want you to be able to come home and enjoy that glass of wine, read that book, watch that TV show, spend time with your family, and just do what you want to do and not feel bad about it. So topic for today, and thank you guys so much for the hearts, but topic for today is surviving parent conferences. So I imagine that it's really different at every school. I've only been in one school, so I'm kind of curious how you guys do conferences. If you want to let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear. So at my school, we have, like, the students have half days, and then in the evenings we have just like from 1 to 5, we just have back-to-back conferences, and we have one day that's later. It's like 1 to 8 or something. So it's a lot of talking to parents, and it gets really tiring. And by the end of the week, I am ready to go back to my kids because I love my parents, but there's a reason why I picked working with students and not parents, I guess, even though they're awesome. So that's how mine looks. And I just jump in on the teachers' conferences. I feel really lucky that they give, because I know they're all like jam-packed and they want to fit all their content in. So I feel really lucky that teachers let me join in, and that they give me some time to talk with the parents too. So let's do this. So what I do is, so I have 5 tips for you. So the first one is I make a list. So I have, if you go to I'll show you guys the blog post after, but I'll mention a bunch of links. And if you go to the blog post, it'll route you to all those different places. So the first thing is to make a list though. So I love Excel because, it's not pretty, but it works. So I have my So I list the student's name, the parent's name, which I found was kind of important because it makes a big difference if you can walk up to a parent and know their name. And sometimes I choose to go by the last name, but it's been awkward. Like if they're divorced and I forgot about the home situation and I go up and say, "Hi, Mrs. Smith," but she's not Mrs. Smith anymore, and that, like in those first couple seconds, it's kind of like, oops. So that's one thing that I found helpful. So I have the student name, the parents' names, and then the teacher if I need it, but I usually don't. And then I also have check boxes, so I put in the progress report because I always have the progress report at the parent conference. And then I have a handout column, which I'll tell you about. And then I have a spot to put the day and the time so that, like, when I'm writing my progress reports, I can sort them by the student name. And it's really easy to go through my notebook and just type up all the reports. And then when it comes to conference time, I can sort by the time. So I have my schedule, and I know which student I'm going to see first and which one's next, and I have this list. And I can easily see if there's multiple students at the same time, and then I can quickly prioritize. And then I'm not having, because my office gives me just a stack of each teacher's schedule, so I have to go through and highlight all my kids, and it would just be a mess if I was trying to like juggle through all of that while trying to go to 60 different conferences. So that is one. Make that list. And Excel is awesome because you can sort it, and you can sort it to see like which progress reports you have left, or you can sort it to make your schedule. Huge time saver for me. And then I have information on my blog about how I do that. So that's number one. And then number two is having visuals, because in our conferences are 30 minutes, and parents are given a lot of information. So for number two, I make sure to have something that the parents can give home. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for joining in. So yeah, number two, have those visuals so that the parents can take something home. And then number three, parents are so important in this process, and I really feel like the students who have parents that are involved make faster progress, and they're out of speech faster. And I mean, for some of our students, they might always be in speech, but they get that much closer or they make that much more progress. So for number three, I really like to give parents some resources or some ideas, and it's really individualized for each student what I do. I'm working on making something, but in my blog I put some links to some things that might work for you guys too. But just having something that they can take home and they can like, okay, we can do this to help Johnny do X, or if they have some kind of goal, that's really helpful to get them on board, and then that gives them a little bit more buy-in to that process too. So that's number three, have some action steps for them, something that they can do to help their student keep going. And then for number four, I have my students involved. So I do this more with my older students, but they love kind of having some ownership of that, and it's a lot of fun. So I have, because I've talked about this before, but I have students make these goal cards, and so this is part of my progress monitoring deck. So I have my students write theirs because then it's theirs. I have some like that I can type up and everything, or some pre-made ones, but I kind of like this. So it has like a little progress monitoring bar that shows how close they are, and we kind of talk about what that would look like before. But when they meet the goal, they get glitter washi tape, and even the boys are excited about it, which is pretty funny. But so I bring their goal cards to the conference so they can show their parents, like, this is a goal that I met, and they see these every time, so they know what these are all about. So they can show their parents the ones that they got to decorate and celebrate those successes. They can also show them the ones that they're working on and how close they are to that. And these are great visuals for them, because especially if they're nervous about talking to their teacher and their parents. these are great visuals for them and to help support them in that discussion. And then if they've gotten to practice telling this information to their parent and their teacher, I think they take more ownership and kind of take more action for that too. So these are in my progress monitoring decks, but you could easily just cut out some cards and make them yourself. But I love this because it helps keep students accountable. And thank you guys for the hearts. It's so sweet. And then also to go along with that, this is also in there, but I have brag tags that I will give out to students. So it can help keep, like, even if they're not making a ton of progress towards their goals, I have some like brag tags for when they're doing awesome work in speech, and then they can talk about some of the things that they've been doing kind of to help get them towards their goal, even if they're not quite there yet. So these are a lot of fun. And then let's see. So that's number 4. Have your consider involving your students in the conference. And I'm working on some stuff around that too. So stay tuned. And then number 5, organize your materials. So I didn't bring all of my stuff home, but I found one of these. So I make the little packets. So I have the progress report and the action step paper, whatever, and it's individualized for every student. So I make a mini packet for each student, and then I sort them in order of the conferences for each day. So then I put like all the Monday ones together in order that I'm going to see them. And then when it's time for conferences, I just grab that packet with my parent labels, which I mentioned in the blog post, so I can take notes. And then I also bring a highlighter so I can highlight anything on the notes that I need to do. And then I also bring my schedule just so I can refer to it and kind of make notes if the schedule changes last minute. But these are, so this one just says today, but there's like, I have ones that say like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's perfect for that because then I know, okay, these are the Monday ones and I need to grab them. But a sticky note works too, but I kind of like pretty stuff. So it's a little way of spoiling myself when having to do all this. So those are my 5 tips. Thanks, Keisha. So make a list, get all that stuff organized, have your visuals for the parents to take home because they're going to be bombarded. And I'm following that because I'm going to give you guys a visual too in the blog post. And then 3, have a way for parents to take action so they can be involved. 4, consider involving students. And 5, organizing your materials and make it go like that. Oh, thank you. So then those are my 5 tips. Do you guys have any questions or ideas that you really like something that you've been doing that I didn't think about? And while you guys are doing that, I will turn it around. So this is my blog post, and it's at, turn it around. So www.roadtospeech.com. It's the second one. Oh, it's all good, Keisha. I make typos all the time. So this is all the information, and it has a couple pictures, and then I'll add the scope to it too for your reference, but it has a bunch of the links that I mentioned. And then if you go, so this is part of my news. So Hallie from Speech Time Fun and I mentioned this in my scope earlier, but here's the visual too. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of cool to see the kids take ownership like that. But then I have, so Hallie from Speech Time Fun and I are doing a mini giveaway on Snapchat. And so this is the information on that. The snaps will be up until tomorrow morning. I believe it was like 9 a.m. Eastern that they went up. So be sure to get those in by tomorrow if you want a chance to win. We just did snaps of our desks and talked about some of the organization with that. And then here are our snap codes, or you can just type in Speech Time Fun or Road to Speech to find us. But that has been so much fun. It's been really cool to see what other people have been doing. So that's that. And then one last thing. So I am so excited. Today's the last day that I'll be scoping here on my channel, like for my Monday show. It's going over to SLP Blogger Live. So it's going to be the first collaborative SLP Periscope channel. So we have 10 awesome SLP bloggers who will be coming on. Some of us will be here every week. Some people are monthly, but there's some awesome people on there. So follow the Facebook page to see who's on there. And then on Thursday for St. Patrick's Day, there's going to be a huge giveaway with the grand prize being $100 TPT credit. So definitely follow this and check it out. I'm so excited. It's going to be awesome. And then on Thursday, pretty much the whole day, but mostly in the afternoon, all of the bloggers will come on and do a quick scope, and then that'll be part of the giveaway. So follow the Facebook page to learn more. And I also have a blog post on that, but I think this will be the best way to find the most recent information. But I know I talked a lot, so I will show you my contact information real quick if you want to. If you have any questions, and I